to do what you can do yourself. Don't pay people to do things yourself. If you've gotten out of debt, okay, or you're in debt, don't pay people to do things. Cut your own grass. It's good exercise. Don't pay someone $25 a week to do it. Do it yourself. Find the little things that you can do. Some things you can't. Don't worry about it. Or some people can't do those things. Fine, then you have to fit those into the budget. But the key is creating a budget, how to figure out repayment plans, which I explained to you how to do, and all of them will do the same thing, and find lower interest rates. Well, that's part of building your credit to get those lower interest rates. So make sure you take that other lesson on credit to help you out with this. Okay, now let's move into your plan, your strategic war plan, how to get yourself out of debt. You understand compound interest. If for some reason the video did not play for you, don't be upset. You can go and download the PowerPoint presentations and the video itself. Investopedia has some great films on there to simplify this, which I've included into your presentations here, and use them to give yourself an example. But remember, compound interest is just interest on the interest, which is beneficial if it's working for you. If it's working against you, it can cause you to stay in debt for a long time. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to work on destroying your debt with your current income that you're making now. Remember, the borrower is the slave of the owner. Right out of the Bible, 22:7. If you're not religious, it doesn't matter. It's still the truth. The borrower is the slave to the owner, and you are now indebted to whomever you owe money to, and the Okay, well, the first one, let's talk about debt consolidation. With debt consolidation, you're attempting to put all of your debts together into one and all-encompassing monthly payment. The idea behind this is that you can consolidate all your debts into just one. That will be easier to manage, okay? In some cases, be a lower monthly payment at all of your currently monthly payments combined. So you'd put credit cards and car payments and all these other loans into one that are probably a lower interest rate. And hopefully it will have a lower interest rate. Unfortunately, some of the pitfalls to debt consolidation means that you can have a second mortgage on your house, or there's other things on it. But really what it comes down to is you're putting all your eggs in one basket and paying off that basket, right? The potential benefits of this is that you can get a lower interest rate to save you a lot of money, and it really can. If you look at interest rates, you look at the spreadsheets on how much things cost and how much interest costs you, you can save a lot of money on a debt consolidation. Also, one monthly payment can be a lot easier to manage than numerous payments. Now, that's our benefits. If you have one payment, you know you have to make that, and it pays off all your other ones. The potential risks are you don't always end up with a smaller monthly payment. You put them all together, and some cases you have, instead of minimum credit card payments, you've put it into here. You don't get to do a minimum payment on that, depending if it's a home equity line of credit or whatever the loan is that you've taken, and it doesn't always end up a smaller one. Also, many people can't qualify for less expensive, lower interest rate loans or bank loans. That's why you need to build your credit and work on the other project, the other course on credit. But if you can't, then this is useless to you. You can't consolidate your debt. And don't worry, because when we get to the strategic debt plan, you don't need that, okay? You don't need to do this. But for those of you who have good enough credit, it is a good way to get this paid off, and you can still use the strategic debt plan to get out of debt with this method as well, okay? Third, you could be risking a lot more than it's worth. Your home, your retirement, to get out of debt. These are tough things that you can risk because you'll have to put up collateral for the loan. That could be your home, that could be your retirement. And if something goes wrong and you've consolidated all of that debt and you have a collateral there, the collateral is then used to cover the loan itself, and you can lose everything. So it can be very dangerous. It could also take you a lot longer um, to pay your debts off, okay? Because you're consolidating it, and over time you have a higher monthly payment, so you may not be able to pay down as much on it, and it in turn may lengthen the process. So be careful with debt consolidation. If you can do it, go through, make sure you get a lower monthly interest rate, a lower monthly payment. I suggest you get something like a home equity line of credit, which in a worst case scenarios, if you're having a bad month or you lose your job, you can only have to pay the interest on a loan, which could be a lot lower, and you still use the strategic debt plan to pay down your debt, which is extremely important, to pay it down faster, and that's the process we're going to use. But if you have good credit, or if you have the capabilities to use debt consolidation, it does have some benefits, but be careful of the risks as well. Now, debt settlement. This is, other than bankruptcy, debt settlement should be absolutely last option. The reason why is because when you settle with the debt, if it goes on your credit, it says that it's been settled unless you can negotiate that, like we talk about in the credit lesson. But it doesn't look good for you, okay? Especially if someone else is doing it for you, because they may not be as adamant about getting things removed from your debt or so forth. Don't be fooled into thinking that a debt settlement company has your best interest in mind, that they're trying to save you money, because they're not. They're still going to make money, and how hard are they going to try for you when they're only making so much on you? So it's simple. Do it yourself. You call up the companies that you have debt with. You try to negotiate a settlement with them. And negotiations and artwork in and of itself, they want their money, and you want to pay them back, but you don't want to ruin your credit. But I'm sure you can negotiate it. A lot of times with credit cards, they're making a fortune off of you anyway. If you've come to this point where they've made a fortune on interest off of you. Plus, credit cards, they do also get every time you use that card, they get a percentage of each sale. So they're making money hand over fist. So they may work with you. You can send them your spreadsheet. Say, this is the amount of money I'm bringing in. What do you want me to do? I might have to claim bankruptcy at this point. Or my credit's already shot. You'd make them little threats. Let it go on my credit unless you can work with me. And then when you do, make sure you take the lesson on credit to find out how to work with them and how to make sure that it does not go on your credit and it does show that it is not settled, it is paid in full and under your accord, or if it is on your credit, that it's completely removed from your credit. Okay? Debt management or credit counseling kind of is what you're doing now, so don't even worry about having to go do it. There's nothing wrong with getting professional help from a consumer credit counseling agency to develop a plan if you don't know how to do a plan. But here, hopefully, by taking this class, you'll understand how to create a budget. You'll create a plan itself. There's a video on the spreadsheet to fill out your budget. Work with your spouse, work with your significant other, whomever you're, have financial ties to. Work with them and come up with a plan. You can do it yourself. Quit watching television, and start focusing in on creating a budget and paying down your debt. I know most people watch TV to escape from the reality, but the reality is you need to get yourself out of debt. You need to get yourself financially straight, and most of the times you may not have been taught finances. You may not have been taught how to save money or how to create a budget. Well, no more excuses, because this class is teaching you and will teach you how to create a budget. It will teach you how to get yourself out of debt and how to build up your credit. You just have to do it. And remember, this is absolutely free. There's no more excuses anymore. This is completely and utterly free for you to do to get out of here. You don't need to pay off someone else to teach you how to do this, or to buy programs or buy books or whatever. Use this program. It's the same thing in any one of those debt reduction books. It's free. There's articles on the internet. There's links to. There's all types of free resources. Use your free resources. If you're already in financial trouble, you can't afford to pay people to do this. So use this free course. Pass it forward to other people. It will bring you good karma, if nothing else, and help to get yourself out of debt. Okay? Now, remember, there's always fees in credit counseling. they're not going to do it for free. That's why, really, I'm not doing it for free either. I'm putting this up here one time. I'm doing it for free because my students literally ask me to, they've all have this problem, not all of them, but many of them do, plus with student loans. So I'm putting this up here free of charge. Take the advantage that it's free, because someday I might just start charging for this course because so many people are on here. So while you are the first few that are coming on this course and taking it and passing it on, hopefully I can get millions of people to come and take this course, and then I can advertise on the site instead of just putting those links and make some money on the site. But in the meantime, while it's free, I believe in karma. It's going to benefit you. And then when I have other classes on here of how to create a business, how to create an S corporation, how to budget and become a millionaire mindset, and how to invest in real estate and so forth, and I charge for those, you'll want to take them because you will see how beneficial these courses can be, and eventually you'll do it. But if you go to a credit counselor, they're not going to do this free. Unfortunately, I can't sit down with you free, so you're going to have to do it on your own through this class. But come back as often as you need to. Go to the discussion forum, talk with other people, and work with them. I know sometimes it can be embarrassing that you have debt, but the average household in the United States is $8,000 into credit card debt. Don't feel bad. The country's in debt. Everybody is in debt. You're not the only one, so don't be embarrassed by it. Let's work to get out of it, okay? The site that have planned, this site, free of charge, so use it. If you don't go with a counselor, do your research, and don't pay first. If you can't do it on yourself, if you just don't understand, you watch the videos, you can't figure out Excel, you can't figure out how to do a budget, you don't know where you can save money, the articles aren't helping, and you have to, don't pay them first. Sit down with them, find out what they're going to do for you, and then once they've created a budget, then you pay for it, all right? Do it yourself, though, with this site. It's really, who's going to be more energetic about their finances and their management of their debt except for you? So do this yourself. Now, where are we going from here? Well, you've seen this slide if you took the credit course. So therefore, if you've done this already with your credit, there's no reason to do it, except for the first section, to fill out your worksheet attached. So what I'd like you to do is, if you have the PowerPoint presentation, click the link. It'll automatically take you to destroyyourdebt.org. You will then, from there, you want to open up the income and expense statement. If the link doesn't work, you're going to go to destroyyourdebt.org. You're going to go to the resource page. There's several resources there: the hourly calculator, debt reduction calculator, simple budget calculator, and income expense statement. You want to open an income and expense statement, and you want to take some time right now to fill that out. If you don't know how to fill it out, or you don't know how to use Excel, okay, you're going to then go up to the classroom section where it says Excel's class page, and it gives you an example of how to work out the workbook lesson and the hourly calculator lesson, the video. Watch the video, fill out the budget sheet to give you some type of idea of where you stand. All right? Also, be accurate with your finances. Don't estimate. No. If you have to go back for a year's worth of bills, then go back a year's worth of bills. Pull up your bank statements. If you have to, print those out to see where you paid off the bills. You'll have to have a record of what you've paid, and be as accurate as you possibly can. Don't cheat yourself, because it's not going to do you any good in the long run. Say, all right, well, last month I paid $150 on my electric bill, but this month I've shut the lights off, so I'm only going to pay $120. I'm going to put that into the budget. No, don't. If you are going to, or you're going to guesstimate on what your expenses are for the following month when creating a budget, overestimate. That'll give you a little bit of extra cash flow that at the end of the month you can use to help snowball that into a debt, which we'll discuss later. But be as accurate as you possibly can. There's other things we're going to discuss in this, how to, get monthly budgets going with gas and electric companies and so forth, that we'll talk about a little bit later. That'll help you to become more accurate. Also, check your credit report. Again, if you have not checked your credit report, click one of these links. Go on to Destroy Your Debt. find a 3